nice long cook on a big piece of beef. We've got a 30-pound USDA choice chuck roll. Now this is a very flavorful piece of meat. It's actually two cuts of meat. It's a chuck eye and it's an underblade roast that are together. That chuck eye is where we get Delmonico steaks from, and that underblade is where we get our Denver steaks. Now we're going to be cooking this for a long time, like I said, so we're going to do an injection on it just to make sure it doesn't dry out on us. We got some liquid beef concentrate there and some beef broth. We're going to put a quarter cup of that concentrate in with that broth and put it into our injector. Now if you don't have one of these big ones, you can just use a needle. It's just going to take you longer. Now we're going to go ahead and pump this thing up full of this broth, but put it in this aluminum foil pan just so we don't make a mess. You'll find that this is a very flavorful piece of meat. Okay, next we're going to take a 50-50 mixture of coarse kosher salt and coarse ground black pepper. That's the only thing we got in here, and we're going to sprinkle it over this. 20 pounds of oak pellets into our hopper out here. We're going to be using that to smoke and cook this, and of course we're going to use our char griller thermometer to keep track of the internal temperature on our meat. Now we started out on P5 on our smoke setting just to get this thing going. We've got it in there and we've buried that thermometer in the thickest part of that meat. And we left that in there for 1 hour. We're going to kick that temperature up to 250 degrees and put it on P2. Okay, 5 hours later, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our meat. It's looking beautiful. The only problem we have is we've hit 160 degrees and it's stalled. It won't go up any higher. So we're going to have to do something to remedy that. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and take this. I've got that aluminum foil roasting pan. We're going to put that 30-pound chunk of meat in there. We're going to support that roasting pan on an aluminum tray. I'm going to put that back in. We've tented it, but it's not tented tight. We're going to go ahead and check on our pellets. We've been running this for 6 hours and we've used about half of our pellets, so we know when we're going to have to put some more in. Now our meat's still at that 160, so we're going to kick this up to 275 and a P1 setting to get past that stall. We've been cooking for a further 12 hours and we finally hit our internal temperature mark of 190 degrees. This thing is ready to go. We're going to go ahead and pull it out of the smoker and we're going to let it sit overnight to rest. It'll actually take that long. It still won't be cool the rest next morning. We're going to open that up, take the tent off. We got all that beautiful juice in there. We've got that gorgeous beef. Now, like I said, these are two different muscles and they run in two different directions. So you're going to find that you have some very long strands on some of these muscles. I just took a pair of kitchen scissors and cut those down so they were about 2 to 3 inches long. That's going to make it a lot easier to make sandwiches out of these. See, this beef is just gelatinous. It's so tender and juicy, so flavorful. This is the cut of meat they used to use before briskets got popular. Okay, this comes off the front shoulder of a steer and it's pretty much the same thing as the pork butt is on a pig. This is on a steer. Now all those beautiful juices we got in that roasting pan, we're going to go ahead and pour into a large saucepan and we're going to reduce those down to 1/4 till they're almost a demi-gloss. It's going to give us fantastic flavor to put back on our beef. This is just delicious flavor. We're going to go ahead and pull our beef and we're going to pour that back over top of it. It's just going to put that flavor back where it belongs. The only thing we need now is a nice big seeded roll and a big old pile of that beef. Enjoy.